Hello, everybody, and welcome to our series about customer success. Today, I will be interviewing Ankit Aggarwal. He is a customer success enabler. He already has many years of experience in customer success, and he recently started his own podcast about customer success. Hello, Ankit, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Lotte. How about you?
I'm good too, thank you. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your career in customer success?
Sure, Lotte. So, if I tell you about my journey, it's a bit interesting. I initially started as a developer way back in 2013. And, when I was doing this software development job, I slowly moved towards project management. And, when you do project management, you interact with customers. So, when I interacted with customers, I found that, okay, this is something that I like. So, I wanted to remain close to the customer and I wanted to remain close to technology. And somehow I found that customer success is something that I needed. And that's how my customer success journey started. I started working at Enterprise Monkey, then at Salacious, then at Lead Square, which is a CRM company here in Bangalore, India. I worked there for a good 2 years. After that, I got an opportunity to move to Italy. So I stayed in Italy for about 5 to 6 months. I understood their culture, how like people behave in Europe and all. And that's how, I upskilled myself. And then I came back here in India when COVID started. And then I started a job at Mo Engage, where I'm working as a customer success manager for European customers.
Okay. Yeah, you already mentioned, so yeah, you're from India, but then you also worked in Europe. So you have worked in different cultures. Do you approach customer success differently in different cultures?
Yep, I would say it's not really you don't approach them differently. The customer success, the foundation remains same, I would say. But yes, because customer success is all about two things. It's all about the consulting part, and it's all about making the relationship. Right. For building the relationship, it's essential that you understand the customers. You understand how they think, how they behave. And when I got this opportunity to move to Europe, I was doing a course at University of Rome Tor Vergata, and I was doing this language and culture course. So in the language and culture course, I got to know, the culture. I was interacting with, people from all across the globe, and that's how I learned, what is the cultural difference. Because I will give you an example. Because like if you go to USA, they might be using Z, but if you talk about Europe or UK English, we use S.
Yes.
So there is a huge difference, and there is a thinking difference, and you have to handle the customers accordingly.
Yeah, and also when you ask questions to them, because some cultures are very direct, some are
Right.
more indirect. Yeah. So do you ask
That's
your questions differently? Yeah.
that's right. Correctly mentioned. If you talk about maybe Dutch culture, which is very direct, or the German culture, which is also very direct, I would say you can ask, and they want you to get answer in like 1 or 2 sentences. But if you talk about the other cultures, they might want you to explain a bit more.
Yeah.
So yes, your answer and the question all depends according to the culture.
Yeah. Okay. So you also have experience in different kinds of industries.
Yeah.
Is your approach different depending on the industry?
So if I talk about industries, Lode, I would say industry as a foundation of customer success, it remains same. But yes, you need to understand the jargons. So let's say I'm working in mobile. So mobile, I would need to know about DAUs, MAUs, and something else. If I'm talking about CRM industry, I need to learn about leads, prospects, and sales and closes. If I'm talking about maybe e-commerce, I need to know about product add to cart and this kind of e-commerce functionality. So when you talk to people in different industry, when you work as a customer success manager for different industries, you need to understand their industry, the jargons, and that's how you change your language.
Yeah. Okay. Um, you also help people to prepare as a customer success manager. What makes someone a good customer success manager? What skills are important?
So to be really honest, a lot of there are too many skills that are needed. But if you ask me, if you talk to me and say, what are the 2 or 3 essential skills, I would say the first one I would be empathy. The second one would be business understanding, and the third
Okay.
one is absolutely communication. Because if
Yes.
you cannot communicate, You cannot put your words and you wouldn't be able to communicate with the customers. With the empathy, if you cannot understand what your customers need, you wouldn't be able to deliver customer success to them. If you don't understand their business, you wouldn't know what success means to them. Because every industry or uh, every business has some needs, and they have bought the subscription, they have bought your product just because they want to succeed. And that's what customer success means. If you know what success means to them, you can actually deliver customer success. And for this, business understanding, communication together with empathy is needed.
Okay, so if someone wants to get a job in customer success, how does he or she needs to proceed?
So it has a fairly long answer, Lotte, because it depends if you have experience or if you don't have experience, and I will answer for both of the cases. So let's say you are a fresher, you don't have any experience. The first thing that I would suggest is to go with what you have done as in your education. So let's say you have done something in finance. Let's say you are an MBA in finance. So maybe you should take up job in finance and become a customer success manager, right? And if you are experienced in one domain, I would say stick to that domain and become a customer success manager there. And I will explain you why I'm saying this. So Lotte, in customer success, there are two important aspects. One is of absolutely the communication part, relationship building. The other thing is the industry experience, because customer success managers are not just people. We are often called as trusted advisor. So if I'm working as a customer success manager at Mo Engage, people want me to know everything about mobile. They want me to know what other competitors are doing, what is happening in mobile industry. And if I don't know that, they wouldn't be getting much ROI, because they can read about it and at any place, and I wouldn't be able to become a trusted advisor to them, right? So you have to keep this in mind, right? And if you want to become a customer success manager, you are experienced. Let's say you are experienced, then stick to one industry. Let's say you have done something in marketing. You have like prior experience of 5 to 6 years. That would be really important that you stick to that industry, find out the companies which are in the same domain, then find out their product. And if you think that for these kind of product you would be able to act as a trusted advisor, then you can better get this job easily, because you already have this experience. You just need to showcase that you can build relationships, and that's how you can get job.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So, and once you have your job, you can start. How do you prepare yourself best for a job as a customer success manager?
So let's say you have identified that, okay, I need to work for this companies. You have identified maybe 10 companies that you want to work for. First, I would say you need to find out what they work upon. Let's say their product, their offering, and for that you need to understand their competitors as well, right? So once you understand the product, their offering, their competitors, everything, you would be able to prepare yourself. Because in a customer success manager interview, there are generally 2 or 3 type of interviews. They would be hiring manager would be asking you questions about maybe the product, what do you understand about product, what do you understand about customer success, or they can ask you questions about situations. Because let's say they can ask you questions like, how would you behave in this kind of situation, or how would you pacify an angry customer, or how would you work in a situation where your team says it's a bug from our side. So customer success managers go through a lot of situations. And if you are a good customer success manager, and if you can answer those questions, like situation based question and story based question, I think you would be able to perform better in the interviews. So you really need to prepare for these type of questions. And the best part is, the best thing that you can do about it is to think what you were doing previously in your previous job. And it doesn't require that you have to be in customer success job. Maybe in you are in any position which is client facing, you may be able doing something similar to customer success. And once you relate it to customer success, you would be able to nail the interview.
Okay, great. So you recently started a podcast about customer success. Can you tell us more
Yeah.
about it and why you started it?
Absolutely, Lotte. So, this all started way back in March or April. So, I got my job and I saw that a lot of people are losing their job. COVID was just impacting the industries, and there was a lot of fuss. So I was thinking what I can do about it. Let's try to give back to the community. And what I did, I started consulting people. I started helping out people with the job search, with their resumes, with their LinkedIn profile, because a lot of people were reaching out to me because of LinkedIn. And I thought, why not give this kind of insights to people, because sharing is caring. So I
Yes.
started doing that. And I still remember the post. I made a post and there were around 150 comments on it. So people wanted to book a call, and I remember the time, in less than 24 hours, my slots for next 90 days were booked.
Oh, wow.
So I literally spoke to around 200 people, given them one-to-one call. I did some sort of webinar as well, where I gave all my tips and tricks for interviews and how to prepare yourself better for the job search and all. And I thought, when I was doing this, I saw a pattern. I saw that a lot of people actually want to move into customer success. And when I started searching internet, I actually couldn't find anything where there is single repository, and you can talk. People who are not technical, who are not in customer success, can understand about it. I found that the current content on the internet was maybe too technical for people who don't have this experience. So what I started, I thought, let's start something of my own. And that's how the CS Mentor was born, which is my podcast. I started researching. I initially thought I would start a blog, but then I thought, why not start a podcast? Because podcast is the next big thing, and people can listen to it anyway. They can actually binge listen to it when they are working, and this could help you out. So my main purpose of creating CS Mentor podcast was to create a repository for people who are beginners, who don't know anything about customer success and they want to get into customer success. They can listen to the podcast, understand about what is customer success. For people who are seasoned, they are already in customer success, I wanted to give them some sort of reference which they give to people, and they can listen to it. So that's how CS Mentor was born. And I'm really happy that people are listening to it. There have been like 23 episodes to it, and I release an episode every Monday.
Yeah, yeah, I've been listening to a few episodes, and it's really, really good advice and very interesting. So, where can people
Great.
find it if they want to listen to it?
Yeah, so they can find it on my website, which is ankitify.com/podcast. You can search on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search the CS Mentor. Initially, you would be able to find it very easily.
Okay, great. Is there anything else you want to share about customer success?
Um, Customer success. I would say, customer success is a growing field. It is one of the top 10 growing professions, which was recently shown by LinkedIn. And currently, I see customer success is majorly in B2B SaaS, which is business to business, software as a service. But I believe customer success would go much beyond that, because there is a lot of ground to cover. What about manufacturing? What about B2C? What about non-software industries? Because the way we are working, there is a lot of saturation. We have a lot of competition, and I believe in maybe next 5 years we would see customer success literally everywhere, because companies who wouldn't invest in customer success wouldn't be able to compete and wouldn't be able to sustain. So that is why I believe customer success has a very bright future. And people who want to move into customer success and people who are actually in customer success, they should stick to it. And in next 5 years, they would see definitely a lot of things, great things.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, thank you very much for this interview and for all your advice and insights.
Thanks a
Um,
lot, okay.
and I will talk to you soon again.